Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to Interview with Man, episode 164, I think it is. Wow. It has been quite some time. We've been getting on for a while now. It's Monday, November 25th. I'm actually with you guys on the American time this time. I completely passed out. So I stayed up all night last night. And then I watched football, watched the Cowboys lose. It was fantastic. To the American legend himself, Tom Brady. And then passed out and I woke up at like 9 p.m. Japanese time on Monday. So my Monday is starting with you. So good morning to you as well. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm going to bring on our buddy Hans from the Masculine Mentality. But we are actually multi-streaming today. Looks like we're streaming to Rule Zero, Facebook group, which is private now. Streaming to Periscope, which is my Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at right here. Let me go ahead and share. Look at that. I just broke 400 followers on the fourth account here. Really going to behave myself this time around. Right there, you can follow me on Twitter at Hot Dude Life. And I believe I'm broadcasting there as well. Yep, here. And don't forget, December 2nd, 1 week from today, Body Fitness Max comes out. And this is actually, I found this photo. This is actually when I was doing the program myself. This is what I look like. I was 29 years old at this point, I believe. Yeah, this is right before my birthday in 2015. So yeah, I was 29. Very simple instructions in the program. Very, very simple. It requires a little bit of mental fortitude. I'm not going to lie to you. It does take some mental willpower, but if I can do it, you can do it. I did it. These are the results. I'm not saying I got like Hercules jacked, like, my Arnold poster in the background here, but these, if you want to have success in dating, this right here is, women love this type of body right here. Keep in mind, at this time I was in Japan as well. So this is in the Japanese guys that are, especially like the peak playboys, they all look more like closer to Spider-Man than they do Thor in Japan. It's like a more lean structure, more kind of lean build. That's just like what's good over here. But in the States, as we've been talking about lately, how just everybody's just getting more and more overweight, obese. The list goes on and on. Quite frankly, that body type right there is extremely above average, and especially good for when you're talking about like dating and stuff. So got today's promo. Let's see what's up to everybody in the chat real quick. Eric Von Weedle, good morning. Kevin, what's up? Good to have you here. Privateer Solutions, Jesse, what's up? Return of the Mac. Yo, I'm the Mind. What's up? Hans is in the house. Hans, I'm going to send you the actually, let me send you the invite link right now. We'll get you in here. We're going to drop this promo in 1 second. Okay, good to go. Hans, I sent you the invite. Let's take a look at what's going to go down on December 2nd, 1 week from today. It is going to be totally legit Body Fitness Max. Here we go. Okay. Okay, 1 second. It's a little different. You're doing this on the back end of StreamYard. I guess I have to. Okay, maybe this is how. I think I'm just gonna do it like this. Bada bing. Okay. Who's ready? Tell me if you see what's new. All right. I love it. December 2nd, boys, mark your calendars. It's super easy to go to. All you got to do, if you want to sign up for that waiting list, is one of two ways you can do this. First way is to just go to modernlifedating.com/body language, right here. Scroll down, click on this link right here. Scroll down, click on this little box right here. Put your best email address in here, click subscribe, and then on December 2nd, you will receive the link to download this for free. And you'll also be on the waiting list for Body Language Mastery, which is happening on December 22nd, or December 26th, rather, right here, as you can see. And it's going to be a good one. Hans, welcome to the show, baby.
Thank you, man. Pleasure to be here.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. You know what? I just realized I forgot my water in the other room. So how about this? No. I'll full screen you. Tell the people who you are. I trust you. Trust you won't run this thing into the ground, right? Let them know who you are real quick. Give them a little bit of a background, and I'm just gonna run over and grab my water bottle, and then we'll deep dive into the discussion. How'd I do?
Okay, great.
All right, just take it there for a second.
Okay, great. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my name is Hans. I have started up the company, The Masculine Mentality. I'm 18 years old currently. I got a girl to, when it comes to credential and like credit for me being here in the first place, I got a girl to buy me a house. I'm currently one of the best in my current sales job, which I'm working in. And I came into Body Language Mastery when I dropped out of college and started a job at McDonald's because I was too poor to get in the first place. So that's quickly just about me and where I'm from. And I'm from Denmark as well. So
Copenhagen, yeah? Or near? Are you near Copenhagen or what?
I'm closer to Sweden. I come from up there. Yeah, it's very close to Copenhagen, but it's like 45 minutes away in train and the subway. So
solid. So welcome to Hot Dude of the Week, guys. So this is going to be a new show, and this is for pretty much anybody who has received coaching from me and wants to just come on stream and just talk about the successes. And as you progress, new level, new devil. You get to the next level and you have like new problems. Like first it's like, oh, I can't get with girls. Now it's like, oh, my girlfriends keep finding out about each other. And then so as you progress, your questions progress as well. So if you want to be on the show, hit me up in the Facebook group, hit me up on all the social media avenues I mentioned as well. And we can bring you on. I'm looking at it's interesting. I'm doing we're streaming to multiple places right now. But the YouTube numbers are extremely low compared to usual. I wonder if it has something to do with the StreamYard. I don't know. Anyways, so what we're going to talk about today is just where Hans was before he came to just kind of becoming part of this membership community, and then what were the changes he made, and then where is he at now, how old he is, and all these things. So Hans, when did I first start coaching with you?
I think I began to write in your chats back in January, and then I had my first consultation in March. I remember
it was all this year.
Yeah. We only met half a year ago, which is quite incredible. Come to think of it.
Big jump in your progress, right?
Definitely.
So how did you initially find me?
Well, I originally found the red pill when I went to boarding school at the time. I was 16 years old. Mm-hmm. And at the time, it's a long story, so I'll make it very short. I quickly, in my back home, where I live currently as well, I quickly lost almost all friends, and most people at my age in my town kind of turned on me for me being a complete loser. I was skinny fat. My brother has the best saying about me at the time, which he says it looked like I was pregnant as a boy.
Oh, God.
to that point. And I only had like 4 friends, and they weren't like really friends. They were just playing games and like eating shit, and being like very down on themselves and on others as well. And I had one friend as well who went to a boarding school. He went to a scout boarding school, and he was the first one. He was also a very weird character. He was like an alpha. He was very like strong and masculine, but he was only like minded in like going into the army and then becoming a blacksmith afterwards. He didn't care about girls, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to this boarding school because he was completely isolated from the rest of like my age demographic and whatnot. So he went to this scout boarding school, and later we found out he was actually the first one to lose his virginity in the entire class after that. And I was like, this might be the change I need. So I originally went out to a boarding school, which I thought was a film boarding school, because originally my passion has always been in film. I'm a third-time award-winning film director right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been at some of Denmark's biggest film festivals for people under 18, where I've won Best Movie twice. So that all happened after I went to boarding school, of course. Right now I was nothing. I was a complete zero. So I went to this boarding school, which I originally thought was like a media boarding school, but it turned out to be a sports school. Now, I was in bad shape at the time. I'm in very good shape now. But my problem with sport has always been that I actually only use one eye at a time. And that's something I'm born with. I have operated it right now out, so you can't see I actually have a lazy eye. But that makes me I'm not able to see 3D vision. So I can only see 2D vision, which makes me, incompetent at playing ball and anything like that.
Right.
So I went to this boarding school, and short to say, it was filled with like guys who had like their shit under check, or like spoiled kids as well. And what ended up happening was they just beat me to a bloody pulp, and like made me. I remember for 3 months my roommates made me, or rather I allowed them to. I would rather say, because I don't think it's their fault necessarily. I just think it's my fault for letting it happen, because I was so beta-minded, so programmed to be defenseless and a victim. So I actually allowed them to control when I had to sleep, and if I did go to sleep before 3 a.m. in the morning, I would wake up with like their cum all over me as a sign of submission, as me being their bitch officially. It was like, it's the closest I can think of about what prison would be like to me.
I'm surprised you didn't fucking kill those guys. There's no way somebody would live if they did that shit to me.
But that tells you something as well, like how fucking
kill 'em.
victim-minded I was.
I would fucking kill somebody if they did that, dude. That is fucking disgusting. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
No, it's all right. And I actually, like, everything I've went through, and I've went through like much more than that, but that was definitely like the worst 3 months of my life. Back home, I was also beaten like remorsefully. There were like guys in my city who like were spending hours like pretending to be my friend and all this. And I later heard that they were actually planning on me like coming over to their school. They were trying to like persuade me into moving over to their school so they could like bully me into suicide. And they were bullying my brother as well. So I don't really think it's. I never see it as like them being evil. I more see it as like me allowing this to happen.
It's a little bit. I would say it's a little bit of both. I would say it's a little bit of both, because that's even in all my. I'm a spiteful motherfucker, right? Yeah. And like if you like, like when I caught one of my ex-girlfriends cheating on, or like meeting up with her ex-boyfriend, right? Yeah. Behind my back, I fucking remotely nuked her fucking MacBook Pro. I was like, fucking delete all that shit, and I wiped the completely hard drive remotely, because I was just super pissed. So I'm super spiteful. So fucking hell, if something like that happened, Jesus Christ, I would probably stab those dudes. So, but it's a little bit of both. Those guys are really fucked up, but also, they kind of, bullies and stuff like that are predators, so they can smell the weak, and they probably. This is like when you see a girl hitting her boyfriend, that's the same situation. She psychologically bullied that guy and kind of escalated him into that situation when she's hitting him. She probably hit him a little bit. She probably started with some words, and then she hit him a little bit, and then next thing you know, she's like throwing fucking uppercuts, and the guy's a complete pussy. Yeah. So terrible here to happen. So tell us, go on with your story.
Yeah, of course. So I went to this boarding school, as I said, and that was like kind of when everything kind of clicked for me, because I had been like pushed like this further and further, like for about 4 years straight. And even before then, things had like gone down the hill. I had have my ups and downs, but eventually it was all like going down. And the last months of my stay, like the only kind of friends I had were like autistic people. So I just looked at myself and I was like, if this is going to continue, if I'm not going to do something about this, if I'm not going to change my own situation, instead of like looking for everybody else to change around me, I'm going to be dead in the next 10 years, because this keeps happening no matter where I go. It's the
Right.
same situation keeping repeating. And the only problem here, of course, it's a bad situation combined with my situation as well. That was, combining those two into like a worse situation. But nothing was going to happen. Nothing was going to change unless I changed myself. So I just started like working out like vigorously just to survive, like getting some strength under my belt so I could eventually, defend myself
Right.
and never let anybody take advantage of me again. And I switched boarding school as well. I came over to a real media boarding school where everybody was like either feminists or fucking nerds. So I was kind of in my former hometown. The problem now was that I was actually the only one who was fit, because I had just been working out for those like 2 months straight. And instead of like quitting and just saying, no, well, now I'm in my safe zone, now I can just quit and be myself again, I continued, because I was just so fucking traumatized by those events. I was like, no, I will never let this happen again.
Yeah.
So I found the red pill when I came over. I found one of Richard Cooper's videos, and that's because my hairline is quite big. And at the time, I was 16, and I was so insecure about that I looked for like balding videos and stuff like that. It's quite funny. But I eventually found this guy and his video about how to deal with balding. And I watched that. I was like, that's kind of a cool opinion to have. Don't worry about, just let it happen. And then in January, I began like really consuming his stuff. It was a video about red pill anger, I think, that made it tick. And I was just like, what is this? I need to find out much more about this, because this is what I've been looking for. This is like the mindset I need to continue, not just the physical part. So I just consumed all of this in like no time. I was with them with the first episode of the Red Man Group, and with me with me watching consistently, with me continuing to get my success in both like physical appearance as well as like just social. I'm much better to socialize now than I was then. I'm even a salesman now, which tells you something.
Right.
And I eventually found you because you entered the Red Man Group, and I eventually began to look at your stuff as well. I think I saw the first interview with a man as well.
Right.
And it took me a while before I like tried to interact on there, but that's how it all started. And then I had went to college at the time. I hated it, as you know, because the first college I went to, I was falsely accused of threatening a teacher by actually correcting her in the class for something she had done wrong. And I was then moved over to another college where some of the same things kept happening. And I eventually made a consultation with you talking about that. And we eventually agreed that I should, quit college and pursue, the working, like starting up my own company and study social market, like online marketing. And that's how all this came to be.
Sweet. What'd you drink in there?
Just a cup of water, but it's a big cup, so.
Nice. I'm drinking some water myself. Yeah, man. I can't believe it feels like I feel like I've been coaching you a very long time.
Me too, man.
So we've only been working together like what, less than 9 months? Wait, when did you
About
contact me first? March?
Yeah, March. That's when I booked my first consultation.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
How did you feel about when you joined Body Language Mastery and all the webinars and stuff like that? What did you feel? What was your experience regarding that?
Well, to be honest, I actually originally I came for the body language course.
Yeah.
But what turned out to be was that I actually knew most of the stuff you were pointing out. That's not like to say your course isn't like good or anything. It's quite well done. And for those of you who don't know this, is in the course, it's very important to learn. It's like essential stuff for a man to learn and like analyze. But I had just already learned it by experience myself. So I actually began to enjoy it more for the Facebook group and the webinars, because that was like, if I had any other questions regarding any other sort of consider, I even asked in the Facebook group like how to avoid getting sick all the time and stuff like that. Like even the small questions like that, I would get like 12 answers from experienced people who had all sorts of like great advice for me. And in the webinars, if I want to talk like not just to fuck's sake, gun luck, but if I want to talk to someone like you or Corey Capella, which I'm a big fan of, great fucking idol and a great guy. Like I said, I wasn't on the hot dude party. Great guy to talk to.
Just dude party, not hot dude party. Dude party, dude party.
Okay, dude party.
Dude party on Saturdays, boys.
But yeah, if I want to talk to like real guys with like real experience with anything, I just had to sign up to the webinars and just ask my question there. So that's really what has been the big thing for me, like being able to interact with a lot of men who wants the same thing as I do, and also being able to like ask the real pros as well about anything that came to mind. And like you say yourself, there's no stupid questions.
Yes, so true. So true. There's no stupid questions. There's only the questions you don't ask. I think, let's see, does this work? Oh yeah, I'll just take that off. No, we're not going to do calls because I don't think I can do call-ins with this setup. If you guys want me to do call-ins, let me know. I can finagle it, but
ask me questions.
yeah, we'll ask you some more. That's good to hear. Yeah, the webinars really have turned out to be the gold of body language mastery, and I don't even think you attended all the webinars either. You joined what, quarter 3 or 2? 2, right? Quarter 2.
2.
Did you go to quarter 2 webinars and quarter 3?
Yeah, I did, because I work a sales job, and both times I've worked full time. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be the case for December as well, because I'm going on a holiday, so I have to back up the times and whatnot to make my monthly income.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been signing up as much as I can. I woke up 3 a.m. sometimes just to be there for like 1 hour, and then just left and went back to bed. So I'm very dedicated on like not missing these, but at the same time, if I'm at work or something like that, just couldn't be done. But that was even enough for me, because I'm a success story, and I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for body language mastery. So,
well, yeah, I just think it's good. And for you guys watching, Hans is only 18 years old. Hans is killing it.
Just turned 18.
Just turned 18. He was definitely 18 when he was in body language mastery. Always, he's been 18. So Hans is the fucking man. Hans, man, you give me hope for these. I'm starting to sound like an old man myself when I say, "Oh, these fucking young kids." But it's true. Like these kids are, there's something else, man. Tell me about this now. Now that you got, what were some problems you had before with dating, and then how were they solved? And then tell me what's your future outlook for what you want in regards to that part of your life.
I think that when it comes to dating, especially, I think that I learned a lot, not just about like game and stuff like that. Like the problem for me wasn't like really talking or being social. It was like the taking action part. Like I could definitely pull stuff off when I did it, but the problem was like going out there, getting myself out there. And I think that I at least think that opened my eyes in body language mastery was like I saw people who talked a lot of shit on Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that, who didn't back it up, and who didn't have the mindset that what they were saying is true and what they were saying they were going to do. And it just pissed me off so much, because in the Facebook group, I saw the complete opposite. I saw people who asked some questions, who then applied it, and then got some great results from it. And I was like, this is exactly what I needed to do. And especially, I had my fair share of failures as well. That's why I was consulted by you. especially with one case who ended up pretty good. I do say so myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had to, go out there and try and fail. And that's the one thing. If there's two things I've learned in that half year, 9 months time, it is that one, you need to take like big fucking risks to try and fail stuff. And if you're a competent guy, if you got your shit together, if you got not even your shit, but like your mindset, if you got that together, combined with like being determined to achieve this risky chance of success, you will get it. When I dropped out of college, I didn't think I would get a job. Now my own education consultant hit me up yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, are you ever planning on returning to the education system? What's the status? Should we get a consultation about you getting back eventually?" And I just replied to him, I have no further plans of returning to any kind of education in Denmark. And that was just it. I completely shut them up completely. And that is the first thing I've learned. Taking action and like standing for what you believe in and saying, I am the fucking man. I can do this. And I need to take a risk to do this as well. And that's one of the first things. The second thing is, and I think this is very important, and this is something I want to bring up on this show especially, is that I have the mindset that if I say something, I'm going to fucking do it. And an example of that, I can just pull up the example from today. I pulled that up on my Instagram story as well. My girl, who that's the girl who bought me a house. I was at her parents' house today, and she was like frustrated because our dog had gotten sick, which she also bought for me. So she was trying to act tough and all this shit. And I said to her, I didn't even try to argue with her. I just said to her, "You shouldn't cook me dinner anymore. I'm not hungry." And that just like flipped her off, because to her, she sees it like a privilege to cook food for me. So she started to like saying, "I can cook you steak. I can cook you anything you want." And I accidentally said, I said it as a joke eventually, but it turned out to be real. I said to her, "If that isn't the best steak I have tasted that you have ever made for me, we are done. We're finished. So you better get fucking cooking." And she was like, "Are you serious? What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm serious. I always am serious about what I'm saying.
That's
so
funny.
Get cooking." And she just panicked. She cried. She was like trying to get those pans ready and whatnot. And she sort of like really pushed it. Now,
is she a Danish girl?
Yeah, she's a Danish girl as well.
Cool.
But she eventually ended up cooking me a steak, and thankfully for her, she's pretty lucky because she has like been working at a couple of restaurants and bakeries and stuff like that. She's a pretty good cook, so she actually got lucky and made. And I'm saying this like you could put me in a lie detector. This is not like some beta excuse shit to not break up with her. But that was the best steak that she had cooked for me at the time. So I just said to her, "You got lucky."
That's good.
And that's what funny. Like
you're keeping her on ice.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not even the point. The point is that I accidentally said something, but because I said it, I had to mean it.
That's life in general. Yeah, like you can't be all talk and no walk. Like you can't tell a guy, "I'm gonna knock you out if you touch me. I'm gonna knock you out if you touch me," and he keeps touching you. And if you don't follow up, everybody's gonna know, like, okay, this guy's a bitch. That's just human nature.
Like, if you don't follow up, what's the point of saying it? It's just like talking big talk on Twitter, and then
it's like the same thing with I know you probably don't have a lot of experience like watching kids and like teaching children and stuff, but kids are the exact same way. If you don't, kids are little animals, man. I'll tell you this. If you don't stand your ground with kids, they will walk all over you. I've seen kids walk all over some parents because the parents are literally that mentally weak. So that's just a universal principle. So you got a girl that you're living with right now, right? And you said something like, you said she bought the house for you. How did that work out?
Okay, so what happened?
How old is this girl?
She's my age, but she comes from
18.
Yeah, she is 18 as well. And what happened was that this girl eventually just was my flirt at the time. And with a bit of your advice, I started to retract my retention because she didn't have respect for me at first. And that like totally spazzed her out. Apparently she never like experienced that with another man. So she would do anything to like me committing to her. And it started off with her like going down to tattoo artists and like saying she wanted my name tattooed on her hip. Then it came to like her buying me a dog, and then eventually it came to her finding me this log cabin. It's like if you've ever seen Twin Peaks, it's pretty much one of those like log cabins from the 1990s. And she bought me that. Like her parents paid for this house. It's in my name. The contract is in my name. I can throw her out whenever I want, but I only have to pay for like food, electricity, water, stuff like that.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So tell me about this now. Now you're 18. You've sorted out a good amount of stuff for being a kid that's 18 years old. Tell me this. I would just like to know personally, what are your goals moving forward into 2020? For me, I have just one big concrete goal, and that is just get the real estate thing going. In regards to you, 2020, what are your goals? You have many, you have few, do you have just one? What's the deal?
Well, as I wrote on Twitter, I've actually found my old to-do list from 2018. And I found out that I accidentally had accomplished everything on that list. I wrote them on Twitter, so you can look for them there.
That's not accidental. That happens. It happens to me all the time. If you write something down and you focus on it, it'll happen. It'd be like, don't be surprised. That's a talent. It's called the art of achievement. Like, you visualize something and you make it happen in reality. That's a skill set that most people don't have, and that most people should definitely have. That's why a lot of people, when they make things happen, it's kind of a shock to them.
Yeah. But then again, I have to correct myself then, because my point was really that I don't think I could do that, because I was looking at it in April. I remember that I had it in April, and I looked at it and went through the stuff, and I was like, I'm never going to achieve this in the year. It's almost half a year. It's almost gone, and I'm not going to be able to achieve this. So my point is really that if I didn't join Modern Life Mastermind, if I didn't get your consultation, I don't think that I would at least have had like the guidance of like where I needed to go to achieve those things.
I am a champion achiever, and that is something right there. You see, got these awards from one of the websites I work with for making 10,000 G's. I think that's cool. So, but what was do you have concrete goals for going into 2020 though? The next year, like.
Yeah, I think that definitely my biggest goal, and this is not just, I don't really have like set determined goals for the next year. I think I'm going to do that in December, because I'm definitely going to do a to-do list like I did the following year.
I'm already thinking about 2020. I mean, I'm finishing off this year. Here's some advice for you. Here's a free consultation, Hans. All right. For the rest of your life, it's always a good habit to finish the year strong
and begin the year strong.
Because, man, I tell you, a lot of people are just right now. Everybody's going to easy mode. This is the time of year where you make easy sales. It's coming up, right? Do you know what cuffing season is in States?
No.
So now we're entering like relationship season. So this Thursday is Thanksgiving in the United States, right? A lot of the girls, they've been hoeing it up all year. So they're going to go home on Thursday, and mom and dad are going to be like, you're still hoeing it up. You're not married. You don't have a boyfriend, nothing. And they're going to see their sister who got married, has kids. They're going to see their brother who's got engaged, she's got a fiance. And all she's going to do is show up with her roast beef sandwiches for Thanksgiving dinner. Roast beef on Thanksgiving is good. And then everybody's gonna be like, damn, Tiffany, what the hell's wrong with you? Why aren't you married? Whatever. And then they start going to panic mode, and then it doubles down by Christmas, because they got to see everybody again. They're like, damn, girl, you're still single, huh? Some of the girls that are super desperate, they'll find this is the time of year, I'm telling you, Christmas especially. In Japan, Christmas is a dating holiday.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, and then Japanese people, they all line up at KFC and get these little Christmas chickens on Christmas. in Tokyo, in Japan, and all over Japan, actually. It's a huge, huge day. I think it's one of the biggest marketing and sales days for KFC in Japan, if not the largest day. It's Christmas Day. But they still work. And like Christmas Day, you just go out on a date. So say if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, like especially in Japan now, all the girls are panicking right now because Halloween finished and now Christmas is coming up. The lights are starting to go up. Japan's starting to get the Christmas glow to it. And this is the time of year globally that it's like it's so easy to get more chicks in often because they are, quite honestly speaking, they're desperate. They don't want to spend Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day, all these next couple of holidays coming up for the next 4 months. They don't want to spend all those alone. So this is when your girlfriend's going to be acting on her best behavior, most likely if you are if you're ruling with an iron fist like you should. Let me see what some of the comments here say. Something like, let's see. Lewis says he plans to finish the year strong and start strong too. Lou, we got to catch up. I didn't get to your message yesterday. I stayed up late, but I didn't see it. Let's go. What's up, Conk? Joey, what's up? Let me just say, he says, KG Auto says, I'm getting money muscles because I'm 250. I feel I can't use game until I'm more fit. You can always practice, mate. You can always practice. But yeah, he can keep practicing. Let's see. Ben Jones says, John is speaking the truth. Chicks even put in their Tinder bio, need a man for Christmas with the family. Yep, I'm telling you. Hans, yeah, you definitely got to come up with some goals for 2020. That's 100% sure.
Yeah, I could just from the top of my head, I can come up with I think 2 or 3.
What's important to you these days? You know, as you've evolved now, what's important to you?
Yeah, the first important thing is definitely for me to get the masculine mentality thing going. I want this business to not only of course turn a profit because I have to make a living for myself. All people do, but also to really become something to help men. And not I'm gonna focus more and more on mindset and being in shape, because that's the 2 thing I'm really good at. I'm very mature for my age, obviously. And I'm quite a good fit as well. I know a lot about fitness. I know a lot about how to avoid injury. And that's what my first workout course on the masculine mentality is going to be about. But that's the first thing. The first 2 things I'm going to keep focusing on. Once I've gotten my financial situation, not just good as it is right now, not just okay. I want it to be great before I venture into that endeavor at all. And then when it comes to game, I'm not going to teach that because I'm just 18. And although the things I've done so far has turned out great for me, it's not enough for me to become some kind of fucking POA or red pill dating coach or anything like that. I don't want to be like that unless I have.
The fact that you're in a first world country alone is a leverage point in regards to just starting up some kind of online consultation business. And it's totally doable and totally legal. And everybody's there. There's advisors out there for everything. You could get a coach for how to book gigs juggling. Do you know that? You can find a coach for that. Everything is out there. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. The internet is the place to be when it comes to making some passive income.
Yeah. And then when, of course, my financial situation and just taking more action will definitely be my goals. That's not being very specific. That's being very vague, but just going out there and trying more stuff, trying to connect some dots, trying some new techniques of persuasion, sales, anything. I want to get better at sales as well. I'm good, but I want to get better. That's the same with my financial situation. I'm good right now, but I want it to be better. And that's the one thing for men, I think, at least, that they should strive to achieve for in the coming year. I don't care where you are right now. Just try to achieve more. Try to settle for more than less. Don't be satisfied with where you are at right now. I don't care if you got money, muscles, and game in check. You need to get them more in check. You just need to hunt more goals, because that's how you keep a man happy. Keep hunting and keep achieving at the same time. Keep taking action. That's how you satisfy yourself as a man, subconsciously. Because if you just sit there and say, well, that's a good game, I'm finished now, I've done everything, and just sit and play video games, Like, I don't know about you, John, but I know that you play video games as well. I've done so a lot in the past. I watched a lot of movies in the past. But the thing about me is, I don't know if it's just me or anybody else, but I get like the feeling afterwards I'm done playing a game for like just 1 hour or 2 hours. I feel like subconsciously, I feel like I haven't had a great time, because I still feel like this sense of like me not achieving anything in the real world, me not like being able to like take a grip of my real situation and doing something with it. That I spent the time I could have done something, I instead used to like watch a movie or speculate about some fake characters in a fake world in a video game.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. If you have that burning desire, you got to
Yeah.
use it. And using that desire to achieve stuff, whether it be, the art of achievement for financial gain or the art of achievement for personal fulfillment, both of those things are pretty solid. But I think, yeah, a lot of people, Rich talks about this. We talked about it the other day, but he was saying like how most guys, and it's so true. I kind of realize what he means now. It's just most guys are just sleepwalking through life. Like they're like through life on autopilot. Like they don't even realize what they're doing. They're just kind of taking life, kind of one day at a time, but with no plan and no initiative. They're not living life. They're letting life live them. If that makes sense to you.
Can I answer a question in the comments real quick?
Sure. Which one?
It's the Return of the Mac. He wrote, "Isn't the tax rate in Denmark in the neighborhood 45 to 55%?" And if I can elaborate on that, it goes from like my taxes, because I'm so young and I haven't really like been working since. Like I started working maybe at like supermarkets 1 year before McDonald's. That was my first real work job. So I only have to pay 35%. But like top taxes in Denmark is like 65%. So if you like earn more than like, I think it's about $100,000 a year, just that amount, and you have to pay 65% taxes.
Really? So if you make $100,000, you have to pay $65,000 of the $100,000.
If you make $100,000 a year, you have to pay 65% taxes.
So is $45,000 in US dollars a lot in Denmark?
Yeah, it basically is. I like when you're a millionaire over here, you're under millionaire in like dollars, of course, because like I think Danish kroners accounts for like I think a dollar is like 6.5 kroners.
Okay.
So with that in mind, if I earn like let's say 700,000 kroners a year, I have to pay top taxes.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. I went to Denmark when I was 16. I was in Copenhagen. Interesting.
Was that your only time?
Yeah, only time. We'll do Hot Dude Con Europe eventually.
I'm gonna be there.
Denmark has even more taxes than Germany. So that's what it says. That's what Peter says. I'm just checking. Rick Torres, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the party. Yeah, no, I think that sounds great, dude.
But like my biggest
your achievement statement. I think that's good that you have kind of like achievement anxiety, if you will. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I got to get something done. That's really good. That's a really good mindset.
It's also important because I'm so young. Like I have the most energy I have like in all of my lifetime. I think I have like 3 or 2 years where I'm like at my maximum energy level right now, and I just have to use them as much as possible. And when it came to like goals right now, I have one very specific goal, but I don't know if I can achieve it this year. I'm gonna try, but I as I say, I mean what I say and I say what I mean. So I think I'm actually gonna like this is gonna be the goal for the next 2 years, and
what
is
it?
To get out of fucking Denmark.
Get out of Denmark.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
I was thinking either Eastern Europe or Asia, because like I want a society like Japan, which focuses a lot on like its own race and its own like country, instead of like putting immigrant. That's not a racist thing. I think everybody knows that.
Oh God! Don't even need to say that stupid fucking disclaimer.
Yeah, it's fucking no. I don't know. I don't know who's watching.
Yeah, it's okay.
but yeah, I want a country that actually focuses on like its own history and its own people instead of like focusing on everybody else. I think it's like this weird self-hatred for your own country. Like Denmark, I always look with such a shame on, because we originally were a bunch of Vikings who conquered like all of Europe. And now we're socialists who's letting other countries essentially invade us with their own permission. We're letting other people from other countries into our country, and even lets them, influence our culture and make rules for what we need to have in our own country.
When I was there, I got we were like kind of attacked by a group of like Muslim kids, because I was there on a Christian church trip. Like, we were going to tell the Danes about Jesus, and we were staying with some Danish church in Copenhagen, and we were doing some like street stuff, like, street ministry, as they would say, telling the people about the good Lord. And then these like group of like Muslim kids all came out and like attacked us. This was when I was 16. This was 2002. Were you even alive in 2002? How old were you in 2002? 1?
Yeah, 1.
I was in fucking Copenhagen when you were 1. So we were in Copenhagen at the same time. But yeah, I went to the palace as well. Had a nice sandwich. I think it was like ham and cucumber sandwich. It was pretty good. Had chocolate for breakfast for the first time in Denmark. Like, those thin wafers of chocolate.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that was an experience for me as an American. I was like, chocolate for breakfast, sign me up.
The Danes used to be like really good at cooking food, but now they're just like shit. Like everything is like processed and everything is like foreign. Once again, it's like the Mac World syndrome. I don't know if you've heard of that, but
what's that?
It's like this fascination that most countries have with like turning everything into America and England, in Europe at least. But now it's like turned to the point where England is focusing a lot on immigration. So a lot of other countries want to replicate the immigration. And like I've explained on your live show as well, I think a few months back when I used to call in, my viewpoint of that is just I see immigrants as like cheap work for the government, cheap workers.
Yes, exactly.
They're very easy to pay and they're very easy to influence as well. So of course, like the news outlets, like I'm a salesman and I sell multiple things. One of them is like television subscriptions and mobile subscriptions, and it's always easy to like influence somebody who's just moved in the country, who's living in like an apartment in Copenhagen and only have like a mobile subscription with a few streaming services. And that's like the media's demographic. They want the immigrants to like be influenced into Denmark. So of course, if anybody like pulls this opinion up or like points it out, they're gonna get slaughtered by the news, because of course you're not gonna talk bad to your own customers. You're not gonna say, wow, you're so fucking shit, don't come here. That's not what they want. It's just business, in my opinion. It has nothing to do with social justice. It has nothing to do with like them fascinating about other cultures or anything like that, or being pussified for that matter. I think some businessmen just do business, that they don't give a fuck about anything else.
Yeah, no, that's I talked about yesterday on my show, is how like when we talk about the whole body positivity movement and all that stuff, that it's really just done for the big bucks. Exactly. You're pretty red pilled there, Hans. What can I say, baby? I think we got nothing but success for you. I would just say this in closing. I will tell you this: come 2020, start thinking about your goals for all of 2020 now.
Yeah,
and because it'll be over before you know it. Because look, it's already November 25th in 2019. 2019 is pretty much over, man. It's been a wild ride. I had a fucking crazy year.
Me too.
But it's been great. I think 2020 is going to be even better. I'm going to go to the Olympics. It's going to be the fucking shit, man. Tokyo 2020. Bitcoin is going to be having some very interesting stuff occurring in 2020 as well. We got to get Charlie. Charlie's derelict, man. He hasn't done his show in forever. I don't know where he's been.
You don't know where he is?
I don't know. I mean, he's in the damn fucking. He moved away. He's got a dog and all this shit now. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I'll be
actually. I have one goal, and that's something I said on Twitter. I need to get down to fucking Japan and like make some shit with you. We need to like go crazy once, like go out to town and just rock the world down in
Yeah,
Japan.
we
I
can
need
go
to get
out.
down there.
A lot of people surprisingly have come and seen me out here, so it's been a good time. But
Mm,
all right, that's gonna do it for us today, boys. Thank you so much for coming on today, Hans.
it's
Interview
been a
with the
pleasure.
man, episode 164. Hans, the hot dude of the week. Hans, I'm very glad to hear about your story. Show people that you're a real human, and that you're in this. Scott wants to know: are you staying on that chicken, broccoli, and rice? You know it, boy. You know it. I had a big boy breakfast today though. I had a fucking burrito and I had rice and ground beef and some salad. So I'm ready to go tanking at the gym right now. Who's ready to go fucking murder it in the gym? I am. I'm pretty much
First
starting my
one.
Monday. You already killed it, right? What time is it for you there?
It's about 6 p.m.
You already go to the
For
gym
me.
today?
No, 4 p.m. Sorry. Yeah, I work out. I have actually been up like really early. I've been up
Mm.
since 1 a.m. But I went like real early to bed, so I got my 8 hours in. That was
Good,
just
good,
because
good,
I had
good.
to watch like Survivor Series from WWE. Can I tell
Good.
people where to find me and whatnot?
Sure. Tell people where to find you.
Okay, so I have my YouTube channel, of course, The Masculine Mentality. I
Mhm.
just started my own show, Live at 5, but there were some connection issues that I'm going to fix next week. So I just uploaded like a 20-minute video where I explained what I was going to talk about in the episode and just gave that knowledge out to you. I'm going to have a website up and running in December for the whole Masculine Mentality thing. You can also find me on Twitter at The Masculine Mentality or TMM Winter, which is my artist name, I guess. I don't know what you call it, Hans Winter. And you can find me as well on Instagram under Hans Winter or TMM Winter as well. So that's where you'll find me.
Hans, thank you so much, baby. You have a wonderful day. We'll be seeing you in the Q4 webinars. Guys, don't forget, December 2nd, Body Fitness Max next Monday, 1 week from today. It's chest day, best day, International Chest Day Monday, boys. Get out there, make money, make muscles, learn game. And I will see you next time. Peace out.